He literally says, I really don't understand trees. Hey guys, what is up? MegaNerd Squad here, and today I will be reviewing Cherry. Cherry was directed by the Russo brothers who did Avengers, Infinity War, and Endgame, and Captain America: The Winter Soldier. And now that's their movie from the MCU, their first movie off the MCU. And it stars Tom Holland and Ciara Bravo. And this movie's about a guy, his life. He was just a different guy from the beginning. It shows his life in the war and how he has PTSD and what happens after that. There's a quote in this movie that I don't even know how you get this quote in the movie. He literally says, I really don't understand trees. And that's the line from the movie. Tom Holland plays this character who is different from most people. He kind of has like no emotions in a sense. He has emotions. You'll see that later in the movie, but at the beginning of the movie, he just this guy who doesn't really understand anything and just goes with the flow. Basically, he's not really into anything. He doesn't think about anything. He's not the emotion type of guy. And throughout this movie, you see that, and you see more of his emotions throughout the movie. This literally followed him meeting his love, and going to war because he thought his love was moving away, but she actually wasn't. She decided to stay, but he was already signed up for the army. So he literally goes to the army. And it goes from the army to what happens after the army. He has PTSD, he takes all these drugs, and starts robbing banks. And I really did not enjoy this movie. This movie had good actors. The acting was good. They had Tom Holland, Ciara Bravo did good job in acting, and the shots were good. They had some really good shots in this movie. It's just that story didn't really go well with me. If you cared about this guy's life, you could kind of like the movie, but this guy he wasn't even like a good guy to be fair. He was just a normal guy with no emotions, and that's what I didn't like about the movie. I didn't like all the quotes. The dialogue in this movie was pretty bad. The storyline was bad. It was just not a very good movie. And there's some really good scenes that can make this movie good if they would have stuck with that the whole movie. There's one scene when he cuts out after war. He sees his friend die, and he has PTSD, and he's looking in the mirror, and literally he sees himself, and he's like looking intensely, and then he moves away, and himself is in the mirror, angry. It's just amazing shot, and just one of the few times that this movie actually looked cool, and actually I enjoyed that part of the movie. But he robs banks, and he gets away with it, and him and his wife get drugged up and keep taking drugs, and that's basically the whole second half of the movie, him getting drugged and getting money. That's how he basically handled his life. And they literally sectioned this movie up into like four different chapters. One was when he was meeting his love, his wife, and the second part was when he went to war. Third part was the drugs and stuff, and the fourth part was money and the conclusion. And it didn't work well. It just wasn't very interesting to me. The character wasn't interesting to me at all. It was just a linear story that I really wouldn't want to watch this movie again. I mean, there was some certain parts, like at the end of the movie, where there were some good shots at the end, and what he did with his life. And I thought that was interesting. But at the end of the day, it's just about this guy who got PTSD and messed up his life by taking drugs and robbing banks. And that's the whole movie. There's not really any stakes. There's not anything to be excited about. There's not anything to enjoy about this movie, per se. Definitely, I would not rewatch this movie again. The middle part was probably the best part of the movie for me. Like, toward after halfway through the movie, the war part is probably the best part of the movie to me. There was some scenes that were really good when he lost his friend in truck. It got exploded, and literally he ran right to the truck to see if he was still alive, and that basically showed Tom Holland's range of emotion. His acting in that moment was really good. But other than that, I really did not like this movie at all. There was no kind of storyline that was interesting to me. There was no big moment where I was like, "Oh, that's cool." It was just a straightforward story with this guy I really didn't even want to compare myself to. He was he was kind of a bad guy too at the end of the movie, and eventually he makes himself out to be a good guy in jail. He gives up all that and he gets out, meets his wife who's been waiting for him, and that's how the movie ends. So he could be going back to drugs. He could rob banks again, but it leads us to believe that he's not gonna do any of that. But I'm not sure because the movie showed that he was liable to getting high and drugs off that, and just stabbing himself with a needle to get more drugs in his system. So definitely have to give this movie a 5.5 out of 10. I really did enjoy this movie, and I don't think I'd see this movie again. But Tom Holland and Ciara did a pretty okay job acting. The acting was good. Let me know what you guys think of Cherry. Definitely, you guys did enjoy the movie. Let me know. I definitely personally did not enjoy this movie at all. And hit the like button if you guys enjoyed this review. Hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel. We'll have plenty of reviews and trailer reactions coming. And I'll see you guys in the next one. MegaNerd Squad.